Hi everyone and welcome to 2022. Here we are, a new year, and a new year means that we have the opportunity to start afresh and to set our mindsets afresh and to take on new challenges and new goals for this year. Today I want to speak to you about vision. Now first of all, why is vision so important? Well, in Proverbs 29 verse 18 in the Bible it says, "Without vision the people perish." What does that mean? Well, first of all, if you think of the word perish, it's not a very nice word. I think of it like, I think about perishable items, which means that items can go rotten. So I think about like a rotten apple that has been left too long. Not very nice. So without vision, we can perish, we can rot. Another word is death, which is a bit extreme. But the thing is, when we aren't fulfilled in life, when we've got no purpose, when we're just kind of going around, just taking each day as it comes, just whatever happens, happens, then we are at risk of feeling unfulfilled and dead inside. And that's what that verse is talking about. And you know what, don't get me wrong, that there is a time and a place to take rest, which is great. We've just finished a holiday, and holidays are great. God designed holidays, God designed us to have a day of rest so that we can refresh, so that we can step back, and then it means that we're refreshed, we're recharged, we're ready to take on a new season. And this is a new season, and I want you to go into the season with a vision. See, it's so easy just to go through school life, and it goes through so fast, and we can miss opportunities. We can miss the opportunities that we're given. And what I don't want is for you to have regrets. Let me tell you something. The amount of students, ex-students of mine that I meet, maybe in Tesco's, out shopping in Enfield Town or wherever, and they say to me, "Miss, do you know what? I really wish I had taken school more seriously, and maybe even more specifically, I really wish that I had taken music more serious, because now I would love to learn the piano. That's a skill that I would just love to be able to do. But it's an extra expense. It costs a lot of money to take lessons. I can't really do it." Or maybe some of them are doing it now, and they're like, "I just wish that I'd have done those skills when I was at school." So do not miss those opportunities. It's so easy just to take what we have for granted now, taking the opportunities, even the extracurricular, all the different things that we have on offer in school now. It is so easy when it's just, it's just there for you to just take it for granted until we don't have access to it anymore. And then we realize, I wish, if only. Let's not be in that position. As you go through this year, what I don't want for you is to have a spirit of average. For me, I don't want to have a spirit of average. What does that mean? That, everything's just going to be okay. I'm just happy with, my job, just, doing things okay, just doing okay in my exams. As long as I kind of pass, that's okay. No. Let's go into this year with a spirit of excellence, that we are going to achieve the best that we can. I want you to have a vision for yourself, and I want you to aim high and be the best that you can be. You need to have high expectations for yourself. There's no point in just your teacher having high expectations if you think, I'm not good enough. No, you are. Have high expectations, know who you are, know that you can achieve this year. Dream big. I want you to think about your future, think about the things that you want to achieve this year, and run at it. Now, there's a verse in the Bible that I love, and it says, it's in Ephesians 3 and verse 20, it says, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is in work within us." Let me say that again. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. Now what does that mean? You see, God can do more than we can imagine, but we've got to do our part first. We've got to imagine where we want to be in life. We've got to imagine the best for ourselves, and then God can take us to the better, take us to more than we can imagine. And we've got to believe that His power is at work within us. You see, God gives us power, He gives us wisdom, He gives us knowledge, He gives us understanding. Another verse that I like is in Habakkuk 2 verse 2, and it says, write the vision down, make it clear and run with it. You see, if we have a vision and if we have goals, then it helps us to think about the plan that we want to put in place and run with it. And that's why we are going to do vision boards. Having a vision board helps us to visualize our goals, to really think about them. It's something that we can come back to and refer to and be like, that is why I'm doing that. When things get tough, I can look and go, that's what I'm aiming for. It helps us just to align the intentions of our heart. What do I mean by that? So just think about, it allows, while we're doing a vision board, it allows us to kind of think about, what is it that God has for me this year? What is it God wants me to do? What am I passionate about? And if you're not sure about that, just take some time out. If you're a believer, just pray, ask God, what is it that you have for me this year? If you're not, that's fine. Why don't you just take some time, put on some nice soothing music, meditate, just find a quiet place and think about what it is that you want to change in your life this year. Okay, now this might be within your school life. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be about being successful at school. This might be about you just enjoying life more. This might be about your mental health. This might be about learning new skills inside school or outside school, or just being a better person. Whatever it is, have a goal and run with it this year. Vision boards help us to move towards the dreams that God has placed in our heart. And you know what? He will help you. He promises to help you. We just pray and believe that God will put the right people, the right resources, and give us the right opportunities. You see, our motto is believe, strive, succeed. Believe, we've got to believe first. So we've got to have faith. We've got to have faith that God can do it for us. We've got to have faith in ourselves and believe in ourselves and have a vision for ourselves. And then we can strive for it and we can succeed. There's no right or wrong ways of doing vision boards. There's lots of different ways that we can do that. But I want to just talk you through my vision board of 2019 and how I did it. So I used magazines and I picked out some quotes. I really thought about different areas of my life that I wanted to change. And I just started visualizing and putting some pictures down. To be honest, I wasn't that intentional about it. I am more so now, but in 2019 I wasn't really. But I knew that God was stirring up something inside of me to use my power for good. So you will see that little picture that says, the little quote, to use my power for good. What was my power? I just felt like God was telling me to use my voice more. That I have a voice and I can use it to impact people. So when I look back at, and this is going to give you a little snippet of my life, when I look back at 2019, I was amazed to see what God had actually done, because that was a year I was quite nervous about public speaking of any sort. And then God just started giving me these opportunities and I took them. So in March, it really started in March, I was asked to speak at a women's breakfast and just share a little bit about what it is that I do here in school. So I talked about that, and then after that it was like, oh, okay, Judith, you can speak. Okay, let's can you host our Easter service? So yeah, I took on board that, started hosting in church, hosted some big services. In April as well, I became school chaplain, which obviously enables me to speak to you guys when we do have assemblies continually. I hosted a Also in May, I had the opportunity to host a massive service at Lee Valley, big stadium, which was an international service. Then in July, I was asked to host a women's conference as well. So I could look back and see these opportunities of using my power, using my voice for good. And the thing is, what blesses me is that after I host, so many times people come up to me and go, oh, you know, I just love seeing you. I just love seeing you being smiling, and just you, like even just doing an announcement, people feel blessed by it. I'm like, but hey, that makes me happy if I'm doing something, I'm using my power for good. Then it rolled into in 2021, in January, I was asked to host, a lot of us here in school, we watched the movie Step Back, opportunity to interview all the different actors, and it was a real blessing to be a part of that. And then I was asked to host different workshops and just different opportunities in using my voice. Go into 2022, I want to keep increasing. I want to keep developing these powers that I have for good. I want to do the best. I want to have a spirit of excellence. So what else? I just want to highlight something else. So this is socially. So I just knew I wanted to travel more. I wanted to make the best out of life. You know, God says that He wants us to have life in all its fullness. So you know that He wants us to enjoy life as well. So I decided, you know, I wanted to travel more. So you'll see there's a picture there of European city breaks. Let me highlight a few things to you. You'll see the picture of a windmill, and also you'll see a picture of a tram as well. Now, what happened, I was amazed when I looked back at 2019, because in February, my brother asked me, do you know what, do you want to come with me, my wife and the kids, and come to Edinburgh, meet us in Edinburgh for the half-term holiday? And I was like, yeah, amazing. So went to Edinburgh, wasn't necessarily planned, but ended up going to Edinburgh. That's one city. In April, I ended up going to Amsterdam with my best friend from home. In June, I was asked to go on the school trip to Paris. Again, wasn't planned. Then in August, I went at the beginning of the summer holidays. I ended up going to Rome, which is another European city. And at the end of August, I ended up going to Porto in Portugal. And as I look back just recently, it was only this week that I noticed the picture of the tram, and I remembered, when I was in Porto, I spent time, we done a tour on a tram that actually looked exactly like the one that was in the picture. There's different ways that you can go into doing this. I would advise to start with a mind map and start thinking about just the different categories of your life, thinking about school, thinking about your goals, thinking about your strengths that you want to then increase on, but then thinking about your weaknesses as well, thinking about the things that you want to improve on. Maybe the skills, maybe you've got a hobby that you want to do, thinking about just what makes you happy, what you want to do more of. Do you want to have more fun in different areas? Maybe you want to socialize more, maybe you want to make new friends, maybe you want to do make a difference and do something that's like some social action. Maybe you want to raise money for a charity. Listen, do not think that you're too young to do anything, that you're too young not to make a difference. You can make a difference. Okay, whatever is on your heart socially, you might want to even do something within the community. It could even be that you want to be a better friend and impact somebody's life. Maybe you know somebody, maybe you've got a friend that's even been through a difficult time, and you want to make this year about just supporting them and thinking about how you can support them. Maybe that's just giving them a call every week. Maybe, I don't know, there's just whatever it is that you want to do. Don't think that the little things don't have a big significance. You know what, a couple of weeks ago, I reconnected with an old primary school friend, and I was amazed that she said to me, do you know what, when I was in primary school, you made such an impact in my life. And I'm like, primary school? Really? And what it was, she came in year 5 or year 6. Her parents were missionaries in Indonesia, so she spent a lot of her childhood in Indonesia and then came to the UK. And she came into primary school, obviously very young, quite scared, hadn't been in the country, didn't know anybody. And she said, you befriended me on my first day. You said, do you know, come play with me. And that little thing, I was so touched, because now as an adult, 20, 30 years later, I'm giving away my age, but she remembered that, and she, you know, that had impact on her. So the small things can matter and do matter. So think about the person, the character that you want to be, and run with it. As you're writing your vision boards next week, I'm going to be doing it too. I'm going to be thinking about my goals as well. And all I know that at the minute, God is saying to me, seek first my kingdom, then all these things shall be added unto you. So I know that this year, my vision board is going to be it's going to have Bible verses. And it's going to be that I know that one of the things that God has placed in my heart this year is my goal to read the Bible within the year. So I've set out a plan, I've already started it. I'm making sure that I'm sticking to those goals, and I'm seeking first his kingdom, and I know that all the things that I want in life will be added to me, and I will be a much better place, a much better person from dwelling in God's word and taking my direction from him this year. Looking back on your year allows you to be so grateful and so thankful. So I'm excited for you guys to see what this year has in store for you, and that we can look back next year and see where you have met your goals. Let's go into 2022 achieving our goals with vision and having a spirit of excellence. You can do it, guys. Let's run with it.